I was utterly blown away. Number one on the list. Check it out.
Hey MDLers, in today's video, we head back to Gangnam to catch up with Korean drama actor and personal trainer, Andrew Bishop.
Hello, my name is Andrew Bishop. I'm an actor here in Korea. I've been in Netflix's Suriname and also the Korean movie Killing Romance. I have two projects in the work as well. It's going to be Amazon Prime's Butterfly with Daniel Day Kim and also Netflix's Trigger, which will be out later this year or next year. Today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 Korean films for MyDramaList.com. Movie number 5 is going to be Snowpiercer, a movie about a perpetually moving train through a frozen wasteland. It had all the themes. It had dystopian future, suspense, it had action, and I was really drawn to this movie because the end of the movie really left you with the question that as a viewer you had to ask yourself, what would you do in this situation? And I love movies that sort of inspire thought. I like to leave the theater and go home and think more about the movie, and this movie did exactly that. Fantastic job. Watch Snowpiercer if you are a fan of movies that are a lot deeper once you scratch the surface a little bit. Number 4 on the list is going to be Extreme Job or Gakhan Jigap. I'm a big fan of this movie because sometimes you just gotta relax and watch comedies, and this movie was absolutely hilarious. A lot of the humor is going to rely on knowing Korean, but even if you don't know Korean, watch it with the subtitles on, you're gonna laugh. So basically you had this team of detectives who, in trying to catch a criminal on a stakeout, open up a chicken restaurant across from where the criminals are hiding. But that chicken restaurant ends up becoming very, very successful and it takes off. And I think I find that very relatable because sometimes you just hop into a situation not knowing to expect. And you think you're gonna go here, but you end up going way over here, but you can't quite break away from that commitment. And I think that's a very relatable experience that a lot of people find themselves in. So it was very personal to me, and just a very hilarious movement that I enjoyed watching several times through. So number 3 on the list is going to be one of my favorite movies, not just Korean movies, Shin Se-ge or New World. Everything about the movie was absolutely beautiful, from the way it was shot to the writing itself, and the acting was definitely masterclass. If you're a fan of a sort of mafia theme, a criminal underworld theme, this is definitely a movie that you want to check out. It has just some of my favorite actors and favorite one-liners. What's the one line? My man flying back in the elevator. Dilwa. Dilwa. I say that to my wife sometimes. Bad idea. Don't ever say that to your wife. But it's absolutely hilarious nevertheless. Please check it out, Shin Se-ge. Number 2 on the list is definitely going to be Parasite, which is one of the legendary, just Oscar-winning Korean films. Again, if we go back to this theme of class strife or class warfare, that's definitely on display in this movie. You have the relationship between our rich family and our poor family, the poor family sort of invading, quote unquote, the rich family. Really, it just reminded me of maybe not feeling like I'm good enough for a situation. Maybe I'm somewhat of a poser. This poor family, the Kim family, you can see that a lot of times they felt like they were insulted, they were looked down on. And I think that's just sort of a theme that many people can relate to. I definitely related to it. The Kim family did everything they could to sort of change their station in life. But at the same time, they did it by doing some sort of morally questionable things. And sometimes you have to think, well, how far might I be willing to go to get to where I want to get? And I think Parasite really illustrated that very, very well. Number 1 on the list is going to be the movie Old Boy. For me, this is my first introduction to Korean movies at all. I saw this movie back in 2003 when it was released, and I was utterly blown away. This was my first introduction to sort of Korean storytelling, and it is so different from anything I'd seen in America up until that point. There are 3 moments in this piece that really stand out for me. That first moment is going to be him spending time locked up in his room for years and years and years, we have the main character wasting away in this hotel room in the way they just sort of showed time pass, all the major world events and what sort of turned him into who he was at the beginning of the film to who he became after he left that room was just utterly remarkable. You can definitely see his sort of transformation into insanity being locked up in this place. The second thing that I really like about this film, or the second scene that really stands out to me, is going to be the hammer fight. And it was one of those first really long uncut scenes that I've seen. It's our main character against the world. He's fighting dozens of people. And I'm just thinking in my head as I watch this, how many times did they film that scene? And how many of those stunt doubles or stunt workers got hurt filming this scene? Because it was just completely insane. And I think it sort of sparked this trend of sort of copycat films doing these really long uncut action scenes as well. So good job, Old Boy, for sort of setting the trend. The third thing that really stands out in this film is going to be the ending and the reveal of the relationship between the main character and his now romantic partner. Not only what their relationship actually was, but how it was revealed and that audio recording that was played. I hope if you haven't seen this film, and I'm being utterly vague, it's because I don't want to spoil it for you. I actually do want you to go and check it out. So I'm trying to use my words very carefully here. But the reveal at the end is absolutely fantastic. Great acting, great cinematography. I've watched this movie again and again, looking for things that are wrong. Can't find it. Yeah, from the soundtrack to the casting, everything about this film is absolutely perfect. Old Boy, number one on the list. Check it out.
So we met you last summer, and we appreciate your time for our interview and hearing about the film and the drama that you got to work on. Can you give us an update of what you're up to these days?
Yeah, actually, I've been working on a few things here in Korea. There are 2 projects that will be coming out at the end of this year or early next year. One is a Netflix project, and the other project is going to be released on Amazon Prime. If you're familiar with the Korean-American actor Daniel Dae Kim from Lost and Hawaii Five-0, he has a project that he's the producer and lead in, which is called Butterfly. I have a small role in this, and I was just really excited to be in a project that's going to be released in North America, and it was just really cool to share the set with Daniel Dae Kim and also Charles Parnell, who I had the honor of being the bodyguard of. So yeah, check this project out. Amazon Prime, Butterfly, coming out later this year or early next year. The other project is going to be a Netflix project, Trigger. Basically, think Korea, but with guns. Ooh, yes. So somewhere along Korea's timeline, guns are introduced into the country, and this sort of changes the dynamic of society here. I am part of one of the cartels that is getting guns into the country. There are a few big names in it, which I'll leave that for you guys to discover. And it was just really cool to be in yet another project here in Korea and work with an awesome team of people to hopefully put something cool out there.
That's wonderful news to hear. Thank you so much for your time today. And thanks for sharing your top 5 film lists for MyDramaList.com. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, MDLers.